What's happening?
100%.
And what gave you the confidence?
Delusion.
Hey everyone, what's up? So today, I've got a funny video for you from Alpha Central. It's called 25 Minutes of American Women Being Shocked at Rejection Overseas. Basically, it's about women who travel to other countries thinking they'll find their perfect man. You know, tall, handsome, and rich. But the twist is, they still get rejected over there too. Honestly, it's pretty funny to watch. This video idea was actually suggested by Locke the Bounty Hunter, so shout out to him. I'll drop the link to his channel and the original video down below. Make sure to check them out and show some support. Alright, let's get into it.
The men that I have dated in different countries. I'm in Italy right now, having my morning cappuccino, and I have some thoughts. First thought is that this is going to be a little bit controversial, but the most chivalrous men, like opening doors, walking street side, that is an American chivalry culture. That particular type of chivalry is found in the southern USA, particularly in Texas. Problem is you have to deal with everything else that comes with that. But yeah, you can't really expect that type of chivalry that I have found in other countries. Even in the ones that I love, that I prefer to date in, like Italy, the chivalry it's not like that.
One of the main issues with the whole passport movement is that a lot of these women go to places like Europe thinking men will instantly fall for them just because they are American. But that's not how it works, not even close.
Tell me about dating French men.
American men, in my opinion, are easy. They have, I would say, a range of 4 to 5 emotions. Hungry, really hungry, tired, sports. French guys have like 15,000 more. Blasé, malaise. They have a range that we have never seen before in America. Dating a Frenchman is really anthropological. It's really psychological. It's a game where there are no winners and there are a lot of tears.
She's trying to sound smart by using big words to explain why French guys don't like her. But honestly, the men aren't the issue here. She basically insulted a whole group of people for no reason. That's the real problem.
Listen, ladies, if you're coming to France, for some reason, you thought this is the city of romance. You're right. This is the city of romance. Put French and French together for Europeans to intermingle. You don't know the rules here, okay? This is not an even playing field.
She doesn't even realize how clueless she sounds right now. It really shows that she doesn't understand or respect other cultures, and she clearly lacks empathy too.
I am an American living abroad, and I kind of wanted to talk about my experience with dating culture in Europe versus America. So my personal experience is that American guys are much more straightforward and blunt when they like you. As a girl, you don't really have to do much. They will just come up to you, be like, hey, you're cute. Like, what's up? European men, they will make eye contact with you. Like, give you like that look. And that's where it ends. Like, they will not make a move. They will not talk to you. You have to make the move as a woman.
That's not something that only happens in Europe. Even back in America, modern women complain that a guy didn't approach them just because they made eye contact. But here's the thing, men have the right to choose who they want to talk to. And that doesn't magically change just because you're in another country.
I really don't know why that is. Maybe girls are more bolder here. Maybe it's a respect thing. But honestly, I've been freaking struggling. Like, that's so scary for me. And I will probably never, ever make the first move. Like, I'll hint. But if you don't catch the hints, so I'll probably just stay single.
This woman would rather stay single than take the chance to walk up and say hi to a guy she actually likes. Getting rejected isn't a big deal, unless she's the one being rejected. Then suddenly, it's a whole different story.
Listen up. Dating is different over here, okay? If you're moving abroad to Spain, if you're studying abroad, if you're just visiting and you're planning on doing the dating apps over here, I'm going to prepare you, okay? Because it's different. Number one difference, I would say, is the guys in the USA are way more forward. Like, it is in the culture to approach a girl and be like, can I buy you a drink? And here, they do not do that, okay? I'm not saying it's not going to happen for you, but it's just less normal, okay?
If you're planning to live in another country for a while, it's your responsibility to blend in and respect the local culture. But for some reason, that rule doesn't seem to apply when it's an American woman looking for a man.
Number two, it's also not completely normalized to pay on the first date. Like, it's not abnormal to split the check. And everyone knows it's completely culturally unacceptable in the USA if the guy tries to split the check on the first date in the USA. Here, it's common.
In America, splitting the bill isn't some cultural taboo. people do it all the time. The real issue is that a lot of modern women just don't like paying for anything unless it directly benefits them.
In Australia is quite tragic.
I really feel for the single people in Australia.
Yeah.
Every woman I speak to is literally like, it is treacherous out there.
Dire.
Like,
Drab.
the men are just so below par. I don't know what's going on. Like, they can't court you properly, or they don't come up to you when you're out, or they're like so addicted to online dating that it's just constantly a rotor of women. I don't know.
But I feel for men because I feel like society's actually made it a lot harder for them. They're scared of like, I don't know. It's like obviously there's a very distinct difference between being a creepy person and being a confident person. But I think it's been attacked so heavily that, I don't know, I would feel like it would kind of be nerve-wracking.
It's not society that made dating hard for men, that's on modern women. They're the ones sitting on podcasts, complaining that men aren't good enough to meet their unrealistic standards.
Traveled across state lines to go see a man. After spending about 3 hours with me, this man looked me dead in my face and said, "Hey, I think you should go home now." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "I think you should leave." And I said, "Leave and go where?" And he goes, "Back home." And I'm like, "I'm supposed to be here the whole weekend." And he's like, "But I don't want you to be here the whole weekend."
The crazy part is, this woman just assumed she'd have a place to stay without even booking a hotel or making any real plans. You'd think she'd be more careful, especially since she's always saying men are so dangerous, right? So yeah, that guy must have been really attractive for her to take that kind of risk.
So, as an American, here are some things I hate about dating in Germany. So, first of all, my main thing, and I guess this is a very culture thing, like American thing, is that they do not pay for your drinks here. They will maybe pay for your first drink, and then you have the second round. Yay. So, I'm sorry.
Their biggest complaint is that they're actually expected to pay for their own food and drinks. Just think about how many good guys they've probably turned down, all because they didn't want to spend a little money on themselves.
But, I get it. They, want to be, more equal with women. So, I don't know. I guess I get their side, but at the same time, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not, getting all dressed up, and I'm sorry, but usually wasting my time meeting these men to pay for my 2 gin tonics or 3. I'm not doing that. Come on. You seriously want to be a cheap... I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the wrong city.
Making a comment like that really shows how little she respects German culture. She actually expects European men to spend their money on a woman who doesn't appreciate anything at all.
Another thing, and I guess this is kind of a whole Germany thing, maybe Europe-wide, I don't know, is that they love to go on walks for... I am not... I don't want to go on a walk. I don't want to go on a walk. I like to go on a walk if it's a sunny day or not too sunny. I don't want to be sweating. Or if it's I don't know, we're going to the park. I just don't consider that a date. These men will literally buy you a €1 beer and go to the park and say that's a date.
The real issue is that she expects every date to come with a big price tag, while she doesn't spend a single euro. But that's not how it works. Western men aren't stupid, they can easily see what these women are really after.
Another thing, and I think this is more if you're dating a German, they will straight up tell you if you look bad. And I guess in America we're more wishy-washy, but I prefer that. If my dress doesn't look amazing, just say, "Oh, why don't you try on this dress instead? That one looks good, but this one might be better." You don't say, "Oh no, that looks on you." No, not that one. Thank you for your unsolicited opinion. I was asking you to affirm me, not tell me I look. But that's just the culture difference,
She thought German men would be like those perfect gentlemen from Disney movies, classy, noble, and ready to spoil her. But in reality, these guys value their time and money. They're not about to waste either on a woman who spends her days complaining online.
I was not expecting when I moved to England was how big of a difference dating here compared to an American city is. Was not expecting it at all. Specifically the bar scene and how guys go about approaching girls at the bar. A pub, a club, whatever you want to freaking call it. In the US, I feel like it's pretty common if you're sitting at a bar and you see a cute guy or a cute girl and you guys kind of exchange looks a couple times, like, you know the look. If the guy finds you attractive, he will approach you. Or if it's a group of guys and a group of girls, like, same thing, right? Here, no. We had this discussion with an entire group of Englishmen, so I'm not just making this up.
Modern women think dropping little hints or giving subtle looks is the same as actually walking up and saying hi to a guy. But even back in America, that doesn't work. It just comes off as lazy and entitled.
We were out with a couple friends and we were grabbing drinks and we saw this big group of guys, and so like we were kind of giving them like the eye, you know, we wanted to chat with somebody. Swear to God, they were just like, a half hour later, they were like 2 steps closer to us. And then a couple minutes later, like a couple steps closer to us. It took them almost an hour to get near us. They were like, we didn't know you guys were American. British girls would have just like came up to us. Like we gave you the look, like you were supposed to approach us.
Her whole complaint basically comes down to this: why don't European men act like American men when it comes to dating? That just shows how little respect she has for the culture of the country she's living in.
Whoever started the stereotype that French guys are so romantic was lying. Girls, what would you do if a man texted you and asked you out to dinner and named a specific restaurant and then never confirms it, and then you don't hear from him the whole next day? Then when you finally do hear from him, he says, hey, sorry, I'm really broke right now, but I saw that you have a really huge kitchen. Can I come over and cook for you instead? I used to never talk about what dating in Paris is actually like because I was always scared that these guys that I'm dating would see this on TikTok, but you know what? I have nothing left to lose.
Women like this assume that places like France or Italy are automatically more romantic, just because that's what movies and social media made them believe. They don't even take the time to learn about the culture before hopping on a plane.
He texts me and he's like, let's go to this restaurant if you're down. And I'm like, of course I'm down. It's one of my favorites. The day of the date, I don't hear from him the whole day. And in my head, I already decide, I'm like, I'm not going. Like, I'm not gonna text a man ever and be like, are we still hanging out tonight? Or like, what time are we meeting? Just say, okay, I get it. We've all been there. There's been periods where I have no money, but like maybe don't say that to a woman that you're trying to date who's also like younger than you and you also have a full-time job. 2, you suggested the restaurant. You suggested a restaurant in general. I'm literally honestly even embarrassed to like be sharing this story with you all.
You can always count on a perpetually single woman to try and lecture men about how dating should work. And when things don't go her way, she runs straight to the internet to complain, like that's somehow going to fix anything.
What a weird date. Now I'm just standing here, gonna order an Uber myself. Something that I did not like on the date was he kept calling me spießig, which I'm interpreting as negative. He was suggesting like, yeah, let's go in the hot tub. And I was like, well, not on the first date. I just feel like he had kind of like an idea of who I am as a person, and then it kind of did not fit who he thought I was.
This guy called her bourgeois, basically implying she was just looking for some casual fun. And honestly, she didn't even bother to learn a bit of German before trying to date German men.
And then kept calling me spießig the whole time. I really did not like that because I'm taking that very negatively. Because he kept calling me spießig, I asked him to rate the date from a 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. He rated it a 6. Maybe that's just the German directness. Kept calling me like typical Munich person. Not that I'm taking it personally, but I'm definitely like thinking he's reading me wrong. He seemed kind of disappointed. And we also had a few awkward hugs at the end, so...
This woman's used to guys sugarcoating everything and telling her exactly what she wants to hear. So when she ends up in a culture that's known for being straightforward, she completely freaks out, because it forces her to face the truth that she's not as perfect as she thinks.
The thing is, we've seen each other throughout the years, but we've always seen each other at festivals and out partying. Told him that. I was like, you've always seen me in like a party situation. Like, what should I do? Jump around and scream now like I'm at a festival? Like, I don't know what you want from me. We're sitting on a couch. Like, of course I'm going to be a little bit less whatever. I swear, I cannot make this up. Not my Uber driver playing sad classical music and all I can think is spießig. Spießig. Spießig.
Now, I tried to say it, but it was too horrible of a pronunciation, and I won't do that to your ears. It basically means you're the human version of a wet blanket. The more you know.
One of the downsides of living in another country is that if you don't take the time to learn the language, people can insult you right to your face, and you won't even know it. She expects the culture to adapt to her, instead of her adapting to it.
Ladies, be prepared to split the check. Yeah, the men here do expect the woman to have it all together. So don't be surprised if you have to split the bill.
Another thing, if you're dating a German and he asks you for a date, make sure you carry your own money, guys. Make sure you carry your own money.
In Germany, if you did not know, it's really common here for when two people go on a first date that they split the bill. So like the woman pays her portion and the man pays his portion. Let's say I got a margarita for $8 and he just got water, free water. When the total bill comes out, it's very common for the man or whoever to be like, hey, I didn't drink that margarita, so I don't want to split it like that. I want to pay for what.
It seems like modern women think Europe is just a place where guys hand out free dinners and drinks. If that's what really matters to her, she might as well stay in America. She'd have a better chance there. It's really that simple.
How difficult is it to meet a man in Thailand as a foreign woman? Okay, I know a lot of people who have met their long-term partners or husbands here. I did as a foreign woman, but I would say, generally speaking, most of my foreign friends that are women have found it very difficult to date. And ultimately, it's been a big reason to leave. Maybe they love the lifestyle and they were here for a long time, but they were just like sick of the games. I mean, kind of like go figure, but most Thai and most foreign men are here for Thai women.
The reason men often have success dating in places like Thailand is because what they bring to the table is actually appreciated. Meanwhile, some women just expect men to give them everything, without offering anything in return.
Not for foreign women. It's not all. Don't come for me on that one. But yeah, I would say that I've known so many women who have ultimately left because they're like, look, I want to meet someone. I want to date. I'm sick of just like being played by these men. The dating pool tends to be really small for men who are interested in foreign women here. So they get around.
The level of ignorance some of these women show overseas is honestly wild. They really think foreign men are just going to line up for them, but it's never worked that way, and they'll probably never understand why.
But genuine question, is there something in the air in Australia? Because why are the men not menning? Like, how do I explain this? The roles are reversed here lately. I travel a lot, whether it's interstate or overseas. There's a dramatic difference of how men talk and carry themselves in different countries and Australia. I don't care if you're from Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Queensland, wherever the hell you're from. Men in Australia want to be chased. Men in Australia are the ones that play hard to get.
If she traveled all across Australia and still couldn't find a single guy, then clearly the problem isn't the men, it's her unrealistic expectations. But of course, in her mind, it's never her fault. Apparently, every man in the entire country is the problem.
They don't choose the restaurants to go to. They take longer to get ready than the females. They don't spoil women. Random people in America, for example, have given me roses on the street. Like, oh, you're so beautiful, shawty. Here's a rose. I'm like, oh my god. Like, high-value women that work, look after themselves and spoil themselves, don't ask for much when it comes to a high-value man. We just want constant time, affection, love. It's not that hard to send a text message saying, be ready by 6, I booked a restaurant, I want to see you, can't wait.
Of course she says dating women like her isn't that hard. All a guy has to do is completely simp for her, and maybe she'll pretend to care for a bit. She says she wants one thing, but always chases the total opposite.
I don't think I'll ever date a French man again. I feel like a lot of them are really insecure, and if you are a baddie, they are going to shame you for this. On Friday night, I was in the club with my friends. At some point, there's a guy who comes and talks to me. So he asked me, what are you doing for a living? But I don't want to give him my real job, so I just said I'm a fitness influencer. And his reaction was like, oh no, not a fitness influencer. You're not doing this. Like, I said the most disgusting thing ever.
A lot of these so-called fitness influencers only got popular by filming themselves in suggestive poses, or by shaming men at the gym. So of course, a guy might make a comment like that. But the sad part is, she was lying about what she actually does for a living, which probably has a lot to do with those same kinds of videos.
I was like, what? That's so weird. I mean, who cares? But I feel like these guys, they cannot handle when a girl goes online and gets attention from other men because she's pretty, because she's hot or whatnot. But what I don't like is that you're trying to shame me for something that has nothing to be ashamed about. I think it's giving small PP energy.
She's ranting about how French men are insecure and trying to shame her. Meanwhile, she's too embarrassed to even admit what she really does for a living. That's some serious projection right there.
Do you know why most of Russian men actually struggle to date Western women, in particular Americans? And I heard that point from quite a few Russian guys, specifically from one of them, who are, well, they're usually better quality Russian men, because, you know, there are bad people and, like, good people among every single, like, nationality, whatever. But with Russian guys is that, to the taste of a Russian man, Western women are a wee bit too masculine to their liking, you know, a bit too independent, and sometimes, you know, even like aggressively masculine.
It shouldn't surprise anyone that masculine men aren't attracted to masculine women. That's not breaking news, it's just common sense. But somehow, American women have convinced themselves that this is some shocking discovery.
This is what I remember from what like Russian guys would say, and I was talking about some like really good Russian guys who actually could be your marriage material providers and all that stuff. And also when they talk specifically about American women, every single guy, as soon as he's not blind, he's a very visual creature. So they love that our Russian women do their best to look put together, take care of themselves, you know, dress nice and feminine, you know, and just, you know, not walk around the neighborhood in their pajamas, which American people are notorious for. I'm not talking like New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. I'm talking about Midwest. And it's a sad reality, okay?
Anyway guys, that's where we're going to wrap up today's video. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.